Well, Judy, you and I will practice. Um, so another thing that's happening is there's um, landscaping, I guess, going on next door. So that could be interesting too. And all of this tests our yoga practice, right? So how can we stay contained with all of this going on in the world? That is the practice. So as you come to your comfortable seat, close your eyes and start to breathe in and out through the nostrils. And maybe a couple of breaths out the mouth if that feels necessary. You can even make a sighing sound as you do that. And let the muscles of your face just sort of settle and relax. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. And just be. So that's the challenge, is just to be and breathe in your body, to be present, to let all of the outside world happen without your participation in this moment, because we're making a decision to turn inward. And in yoga, that's called pratyahara. So it's a conscious decision to turn inward. And there's so much going on inside the body. That's where our healing really starts to happen. Couple more nice full breaths in and out here. Good, and then just gently open the eyes. And we're going to start off by sweeping the arms up overhead, bringing the palms together at the top. And then exhale, bringing the hands down in front of the heart. Let's do that again. Just take a nice breath in, bringing the palms all the way up to the top. And then exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Good. From here, go ahead and interlace your fingers and then stretch the arms up towards the sky. So you're going to be working a lot on the upper back today. So right away, start to feel the shoulder blades moving towards each other. As you do this, it's going to open up the chest a little bit, open up the armpit, and we're feeling the shoulders drop away from the ears. Good. Take one more breath here, get really long in the sideways, and then go ahead and drop your right hand down either to the floor or to a block next to you, and you're going to take a nice side bend. And we're going to flow here a little bit. So on your inhale, you're going to reach your arm up, and as you exhale, you're just going to take a nice side bend again. Good. Let's keep going with that. One more time. Inhale up and exhale over. Good. And then come all the way back up and bring your arm back down. You're going to interlace your fingers the opposite way you just did. So you might have to do it the regular way first and then decide to switch it. Stretch your arms up towards the sky. Take a few breaths here. Nice and full into the lungs. Good. And then you're going to drop your left hand down to your block. Turn your palm over, right hand down to your block. Left arm's overhead this time. Nice side bend here. Inhale, come on back up. And exhale, side bend. Good. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, side bend. Good. Inhale, come all the way back to the center. We're going to sweep the legs forward, and we're going to give them a little pat all the way up and down, getting all the way down into the ankles, up onto the thighs, and then taking the tiger claw fingers and just getting into the kneecaps, give them a little rub there. We're going to recross the legs the opposite way we just had them, and we're going to do one more arm warm-up. So this is called Gomukhasana. You're going to stretch your right arm up towards the sky, and then you're going to grab your right elbow, okay? And as you do this, you're going to pull the front of the top part of your arm forward a little bit and let those fingers drop down between your shoulder blades. So if this is a new pose to you and you have any tightness in your shoulders, you might want to just hang here, okay? We're moving the chest forward and the shoulder blades back. If you'd like to go a little further, you're going to take this right arm, you're going to turn the palm back, and you're going to slide it behind you and see if you can touch fingertips. Now, if you can't, that's fine. Just sort of notice where your hand rests on your back, and then push your back forward a little bit. So once again, you're getting that upper body back bend. Good. Continue to breathe here. Opening in the lungs. One more nice full breath. And as you exhale, you're going to release the arms down and then just roll the shoulders. Okay, so this is number one posture for getting rid of any tension in the neck and shoulders and the jaw. Roll your shoulders forward a couple of times. And we're going to take this on the other side. So go ahead and stretch your right arm up. Grab the elbow or whichever arm you didn't just do, okay? And you're just sort of pulling it, the upper arm forward a little bit. So as you do that, that hand can start to drop down between the shoulder blades. And pause there for a moment. So really feel that opening, feel that upper body back bend, keeping the elongation of the side waist. And then if you want, go ahead and drop your other hand, turn the palm towards the back wall and slide those fingertips up and start to breathe here. You continue to hold that while I just check in. Okay. So I see that people were able to join, so that's awesome. Technical difficulties. I'll get it all figured out at some point. One more nice full breath. And exhale, you're going to let that one go. Good. And then again, just rolling the shoulders. So crunchy shoulders, crunchy neck. We're going to work all that out. Upper body back bend work today. Okay. So from there, let's come around onto hands and knees for a moment. And you might want to take a blanket under your knees. I've got a lot of padding here because I've got a rug under my mat. So I'm not going to be using that right yet, but feel free. And then come into tabletop pose. So for tabletop, we've got the hips over the knees, and we've got the shoulders over the wrists. And we're going to start to move in and out of cat-cow. So on your inhale, you're going to drop your belly. And then as you exhale, you're going to round into cat. Continue to move in and out these two poses. Inhale, drop the belly. And exhale, rounding. Good. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Sagging the belly, lifting the tailbone, and exhale. Good. Now, come back to tabletop. You're going to leave your hips right where they are, and you're going to start to walk your hands forward. This is puppy dog stretch. Okay, so you're going to leave your tailbone lifted, and I want you to see if you can drop down to your forehead here. So not the nose, we're not crunching the nose, and you can relax the elbows to the floor. Take a few breaths here, and as you're doing this, keep rounding your tailbone back towards your heels, okay? So tailbone, hips are high, tailbone's rounding back towards the heels, arms are elongated with either elbows soft, or for a more vigorous upper body back bend, you can leave the elbows straight, but the forehead is on the floor, so you're breathing through the nose, puppy dog stretch. You've seen your dog do this a million times. Dogs never even get up from laying down without doing this stretch. So their backs are probably healthier than ours. Good. And then walk your hands back towards your shoulders again and come back into tabletop pose. Let's stretch the right leg out, hip height, reaching through the heel, pressing the ground away and reaching through the two sides of the neck. On your next inhale, go ahead and stretch your left arm out in front of you and start to breathe in this balancing cat position. Try to look just beyond your fingertips at the mat, so you're extending your two sides of the neck, but you're not over lifting the head. Good. Bring your hand back down, bring your knee back down, and let's switch sides. Stretch the left leg out behind you, reaching through the heel. Now, if you're feeling at all fatigued or you're just getting back to your practice, of course, you can stay right here. Otherwise, you're going to reach the opposite arm out towards the front. Reach, 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 reach. Breathe and press the ground away with your left hand. Good. Balancing cat. Bring the hand back down and bring the knee back down. Just for a moment, open your knees wide. Untuck your toes and settle your hips back. You can come down onto forearms, or you can rest your forehead on the floor in child's pose. So in child's pose 2, tailbone is rounding back towards the heels. Start to breathe here. If you want, you can stretch the arms out a little further. Continue to breathe. Feel the upper body back bend even in this position. And then inhale, walk yourself back up to tabletop pose. Tuck your toes underneath you and settle back onto your heels. I'm doing this for you, Judy. So my hands are right in front of my knees right now. I want to ease into this stretch. And then if you can, walk your hands up onto your thighs. Oh, hello there. Plantar fasciitis buster, we can call this. So a nice stretch on the bottoms of the feet. Drop the shoulders down. Good. And then come forward, tap that out. Awesome. Take an inhale, bring your right foot forward. Come into a lunge position. Bring your hands to your front thigh. Interlace the fingers and stretch the arms up at the sky. We did this at the beginning of class as we were in our seated posture. Press the back top of the foot down into the mat very strongly. Take one more breath, and as you exhale, this time bring your hands into prayer pose, okay? And now I'm gonna turn towards my front leg, and I'm gonna loop my left elbow outside of my right thigh. Nice twist here. See if you can elongate the left side of your body, and keep pressing the hands in towards one another. And this again is activating the shoulder girdle. Good. And then come all the way back up again. Find your balance. And then this time as you exhale, you're going to interlace your fingers behind you. So you can keep the elbows bent, or you can straighten the arms and drop the shoulders away. Option to just grab the forearms if this is too intense right now. So any one of those options here. But again, my chest is lifting towards the sky. Sternum is lifting. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. And then bring your hands back down to the floor for just a moment and assist your knees to come together and just shake it out. Awesome. We're going to do the other side. So you're going to bring your left foot forward now, coming into a lunge. You notice I have my knee over my ankle. Okay, here we go. You're going to interlace the opposite way. That's part of the practice. We want to get balanced, and then stretch the arms up. So this is a really nice stretch for your psoas, okay, which runs all the way from the rib cage down and inserts in by the femur. And that contracts every time you take a step, every time you forward fold. So we want to open that up. Good. Then bring the hands to prayer pose, right in front of the heart, and you're going to start to turn your body towards the bent leg, the front leg, and then drop that right elbow down to the outside of the left thigh. And I am really twisting my rib cage, my lungs, and my heart. Pressing the palms together and pressing the front foot into the mat. Continue to breathe, just like a wave-like motion in the body, the breath. So the minute the breath starts to get too labored, then we know we've gone too far and we want to back off a little bit. Good. Come back to the center. Stretch the arms up. And then we're going to interlace our fingers behind us, opposite way. It gets weirder and weirder each time I do it. Or you have the option of just holding your forearms, bent elbows, straight elbows, whatever feels good to you in this posture today. Breathing, opening. So counteracting the effects of rounding forward by opening up the chest, the pectorals, relax your jaw. Good. And then release the arms, shake them out, and come back to your tabletop position. And now we're going to tuck our toes, and we're going to shift into downward facing dog. So the hips are going to go up and back, and I'm pressing the sticky mat forward with my outspread hands, and I'm ripping the sticky mat back with my heels. I'm rotating my upper arms away from my ears and tucking the tailbone down. Continue to be and breathe in this pose. It's like a pyramid, very broad base. And if your wrist creases are hurting, you can always come up onto fists, or you can walk your hands closer to your feet. Good, good, good. And now I'm going to shift forward and come into a plank pose. So I'm on the balls of my feet. I'm pressing the ground away. If you need to bend your knees for more support, go ahead and bend your knees. I'm being and breathing in this super strong plank pose. Good. Now let's all bend our knees to the mat and start to bend the elbows, lowering chest and forehead to the floor. Uncurl the toes, lengthen the legs, lift the head, and round the shoulders back. Feel that beautiful cobra position. Good. And then lower yourself down again. And then you're going to press back to tabletop pose. Walk your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Breathing. Good. Then from here, folks, let's walk right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, and come into a forward fold. Now, if you have any disc issues in your back, use some blocks here. If you don't have any blocks, you could use toilet paper rolls, you can use a chair, or you can use a bench. So anybody with disc issues, you're going to want to come to a forward fold like this with the back in extension. If your back is healthy, you're going to go ahead and just let yourself hang. And we are feeling our quadriceps lift up. So when the quadriceps engage, the hamstrings can lengthen. Continue to breathe here. Keep a micro bend in the knees if you need to. I like to really take my time with this. Just feeling all four corners of the feet and the arches of the feet lifting. Good. And then from here, let's bend the knees a little more. We're going to take a roll to come on up, keeping your eyes gazing at the mat, and then eventually lifting the eyes to eye level. Good. All righty. So we're going to start our sun salutations. So you're going to come to the front of your mat, and please, if you know you need your blocks, you're going to have those at the ready. If you don't need the blocks, Then just come to your front of your mat and stand in Tadasana. So we're about hip width distance apart here. Shoulders are nice and warm, so they are opening up and the chest is radiant. Here we go. You're going to inhale your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your palms in front of your heart. We're going to inhale the arms, stretch them up again. And then as you exhale, you're going to come down, either touching your blocks, your chair, or the floor. So you have to police yourself. You know your back, what feels good, what feels right. On your next inhale, everybody's going to come up halfway. You're going to lengthen through the spine. And then you're going to exhale and forward fold again. Then from there, you can go ahead and round up or just spring up, come all the way back to standing. Half sun salutation. Let's do that again. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the palms to the heart. Inhale, stretch your side waist. Exhale, dive down into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And then coming all the way up to standing, finding your shoulders moving back away from your ears. Take a breath. Good. We're going to try this again. We're going to go a little bit further. Here we go. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the palms to the heart. Inhale, stretch up towards the sky. As you exhale, swan dive down. Good. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. This time, you're going to send your right foot back into a lunge position. Okay, so you have to assess now. Maybe I need those toilet paper rolls or those blocks. Or maybe I can just take fingertips or palms to the floor. From here, I want you to roll that back heel down. It's at an angle, okay? And then you're going to walk your hands up onto your front thigh. Good. Warrior one position. So do make sure that that back foot is pointing forward at a 45-degree angle. Go ahead and bring your hands to your hips here for a moment. Front knee is tracking over the front ankle. Inhale, we're going to straighten it. Exhale, we're going to bend it. So just warming up into our warrior position. Inhale, straighten, and exhale, bend. Good. Let's take it again. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, and let's hold this one. So I'm pressing into that back heel. I'm moving this right hip forward, and then I'm going to reach my arms up towards the sky. So you're, again, going to feel this upper body back bend. Getting really nice psoas stretch here. Good. And then exhale, you're going to bring your hands behind you and grab your forearms. Press into your back to lift your chest a little bit more. Being and breathing. It's appropriate that the breath, it's a little bit harder to breathe. We're really getting the cardiovascular moving. Good. And then you're going to go ahead, you're going to bring your hands down to the mat or your blocks. Let that back heel come up. And then on an exhale, go ahead and come forward into that forward fold with the blocks or your forward bend with soft arms, soft knees, but lifted quadriceps. Take a breath here, sigh it out the mouth. And then roll up, spring up, come all the way up to standing. Remember, if you ever get dizzy, just keep your eyes on the floor until you feel well-founded again. Warrior one, second side. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the palms to the heart. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And exhale, coming into your forward fold, not your forward, your fold or your bend. Inhale halfway. Stretch the spine, fly the chest forward. Exhale, forward fold. Good. We're going to take the left foot back now, coming into our lunge. So take this step by step. Even though you know what we're going to do next, I want you to feel the integrity of each position. Good. Now you're going to roll that back heel down. 45-degree angle. Engage your muscles, pull yourself up. Walk your hands onto your front thigh. Now you might have to widen this out a little bit, okay? Widen your stance. Press down to lift up. Push into that back foot. Push into that back foot. And then when you're ready, reach the arms up towards the sky. Get really tall here. Breathing and being in this pose. Good. Now, if you want to bring the hands back to the hips, you can do it, but we're going to flow here. Inhale, or you can challenge yourself, exhale, and leave them up. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, down. One more time, pulling the thigh muscle up. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, down. Good. Pause here and breathe. Continue to move the left hip forward, squaring off the hips, and then as you're ready, remember we're going the opposite way we did before. I think I'm doing that right. Press into your back, lift your chest. Press into your back, lift your chest. Opening the rib cage. Beautiful. And then exhale, bring your hands back. Let that back heel come on up. So you're rotating inwardly that back leg. And then as you're ready, you're going to come forward either to the blocks, the paper towel rolls, the chair, or your mat. Couple of breaths here. Good. And then inhale, you're going to roll up and come all the way up. Beautiful. All right, we've got another one. Here we go. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the palms to the heart. Inhale, get tall through the sideways. As you exhale, come into your forward bend or your forward fold. Inhale halfway, fly the chest forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, send the right foot back into a lunge position. Then you're going to bend your back knee and relax your back foot. Good. Just as you did before, and any adjustments with that front foot, okay? We want it to be stable under the knee. Come on up. So this is a little bit wider than that very first lunge we did. Open the shoulders, turn the palms out for a moment. I want you to just feel the sternum lifting towards the sky. Then on an inhale, sweep your arms up. Get really, really long in your back. Press down with the top of your back foot. Good. Breathing, being and breathing in this pose, Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. And then exhale, bring your hands back to your blocks or the mat. You're going to tuck your back toes and you're going to once again come into your lunge position. Walk your right hand closer to the inside of your left foot. Take your left hand to your thigh and take a twist. So again, rib cage moving towards the back wall. This twist, you're not going to go as far as you did earlier. It's a little bit harder. Very, very good. Bring both hands back down to the mat. Use this back leg like a spring. You see, you got a little shock there, shock absorber action. You're going to push forward and bring the feet together, rounding over. Breathing, let go, let go. Take a ha breath here. Take an inhale. Ha. Good. Roll up, round up. Come on up. Back to Tadasana, mountain pose. So now I'm feeling the warmth in the shoulders and in the hips, and it's all happening. Second side, inhale up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, stretching. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale halfway, fly the chest forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, send the left foot back into a lunge position. Square the hips, bend the knee, and relax the back foot. So I'm pressing the top part of my foot down into the mat. Take any adjustment with this front foot. You need to move it under the knee, and then you're going to come on up. So first we press down to lift up. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Find your stability. You may want to just stay here. This is perfectly fine. You don't need to go any further. You're still getting the psoas stretch. If you want the upper back stretch too, you're going to reach those arms up over towards the ceiling. Shoulders are squeezing together on the back. Awesome. This is so wonderful for us. And then you're going to just find that position behind your lower back, leaning into it, like you're laying back into a hammock. Good. And then you're going to bring your hands back down. You're going to tuck your back toes. You're going to once again come into your lunge position. All righty. You're going to move your left hand closer to the inside of your left foot. Remember, option to have a block there. If you need a little bit more height, turn to the right, towards the front leg. And you can keep your hand right here on your thigh. This is what I did on the other side because that hip was feeling stiff. This hip, I feel a little bit better on this side. Really strengthen and lengthen the back leg. Awesome. 2 more breaths. And this is very much a balanced pose. So keep your awareness on what you're doing. Bring the hands back down. Back leg's like a spring. It's going to push you forward and into your forward fold. And remember, if forward folds puts any compression, if you've had any surgeries in your frontal body, you're going to want to do this instead. You're going to support yourself with a bench, the chair, the blocks, whatever you need. Good. One more deep breath. And then you're going to bring yourself up. Come all the way up to standing. Good. Good work. All righty. So now we're going to come to a wide position on our mat. And please have your blocks or your paper towel rolls or your chair behind you at this point. Okay? Just checking our time. So wide position, I would say about 3.5 to 4 feet. Okay? One way you can kind of test it out is to reach the hands, and you'll probably want to check to make sure the ankles are under the wrists here. Good. Then from here, you're going to rotate your right toes to a 90-degree angle. You're going to reach with the upper body, and then you're going to find the block or the chair or the toilet paper, or not toilet paper roll, paper towel roll. You're going to reach into Trikonasana. Even in this pose, I want you to feel the shoulder blades moving together on the back. Now, we're going to add an arm element today. So on our inhale, you're going to start to move your hand towards the floor. Just like the hands of a clock, it's going to come down, almost grazing the mat, and then inhale, you're going to look forward again as your hand comes up. So I want you to kind of be aware of where the arm is moving in space. Watch the fingertips as they go past your leg, and then inhale. You don't need to look up, but look forward again. Let's take that one more time. Down you go. And then inhale back up. Remember to keep the front leg active. Good. Bring your hand back to your hip. Little bit of bend in that knee to help you come on up. Rotate the right toes forward and just shake it out. Just kind of wiggle back and forth for a minute. Good. Second side, Trikonasana. Turn your left toes out, 90-degree angle. So this time, this back foot is parallel with the back of our mat, right? Reach out from the waist a little bit. I'm not jamming this knee. I'm pulling up on the thigh, and find your block or whatever you're using for support, and then come into your Trikonasana. So tendency, gosh, I really do want to jam it and just hang in the hamstrings, but over time that would cause an injury. So I keep a slight micro bend in the knee, and I keep trying to lift my thigh muscle up. Shoulders, blades coming together on the back. And here we go. You're going to reach your arm past your ear. You're going to watch your fingertips, just like the hands of a clock. They're going to move on up. Awesome. Let's try it again. I really like this when the arm comes past the head, because then I even feel it in my back hip. And up. And one more time. Good. Feel your abdominal core nice and strong here. Just like a starfish. Breathe. And then a little bit of bend in the knee to come all the way up and rotating the feet. And this time just heel toe the feet together until you're back to square one. Okay, good. So now you're gonna come onto your mat. I'm gonna face you just for this. You're gonna have a block or something, a block, a pillow, a rolled up blanket, something that you can use for support to sit on. So what we're doing is I'm on my knees. I'm gonna take my thumbs to my calf, the middle of my calf, and rotate it outward so I can sit back on my block. Now, some people are able to sit on their heels in this position very easily. It kind of is just the way you're born, you know? But I like to sit on the block. I'm still feeling a bit of a stretch in my thighs. You may even find that you need to be up higher. So 2 blocks, always an option too. This is called hero's pose, okay? And you are all heroes. We are all heroes right now. So get yourself situated. It's okay to feel a bit of a stretch here. A tugging sensation would be appropriate, okay? One more upper body stretch. Here we go. Inhale the arms out to the side. As you exhale, cross the left elbow over the right. We've been squeezing those shoulder blades together the whole time. Now you're gonna feel opening between the shoulder blades. Good. And then you're gonna bring either the backs of your palms together or your palms together, coming into eagle. Now, if this pose I'm doing from the waist down doesn't work for you, feel free just to come to a comfortable cross-legged seat, but you can still do the arms. Here we go, we're adding a vinyasa element. Inhale, lift the fingertips up, and then exhale, you're gonna round and bend, pulling the elbows towards your belly. Good, inhale. If you can do this hero's pose from the waist down, it's actually very good for your knees. Exhale, but we want to avoid any sharp pain. So if you're feeling that, by all means, come out. I know you would. I know you wouldn't sit there and suffer. Why? Why suffer? Last one, inhale and exhale. Good. And then I want you to reach the arms like you're swimming through the water and come all the way back. Good. Shake it out for a moment. We're doing the same thing on the other side. If you can, hold on to that hero's pose. Left elbow over right. Round and pull the shoulders away. Good. And then coming up into eagle arms. So either backs of the hands or palms together. Feel that for a breath. And then we'll start to flow here. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, bending and rounding. And again, inhale up. And I'm not just lifting the elbows, I'm feeling my whole spine lift up and round. So we've sort of combined eagle arms with a seated cat-cow, if you can think of it that way. Inhale one more time. Exhale, release. Good. And then you're gonna open the arms and just feel all that lovely goodness in the shoulders. Okay, now from here, go ahead and walk your hands forward. Come to your hands and knees. We're gonna, one more time, do downward facing dog from here. If your arms are tired, you could also just do this. Just stretch the legs out one at a time. But downward dog should feel really good after that hero's pose, which we were in for quite some time. Good. And then from here, you're once again going to shift forward into plank pose, top of a push-up. You have the option to bend your knees and lower down onto your belly like we did at the beginning of class, or you can just bend your elbows and come down through your push-up position. Uncurl your toes, round your shoulders back, cobra. Feel that nice stretch in the belly. Good. And then you're just going to push yourself back, and instead of going to down dog, you're going to go into child's pose. So once again, the arms stretch forward, the forehead rests on the floor or on a block or blanket or pillow. And you're just going to let your tailbone round back towards the heels. We're going to stay here for about 4 to 5 breaths. So make sure you can breathe. that you're not squishing your nose down. Well, it was very nice of the landscapers to conveniently take their lunch break right now, I guess. So we didn't have that background noise. Good. And then ever so gently, you're gonna walk your hands back. And you're just gonna let your knees, or you're gonna sit down, let your knees come to one side, okay? So now I'd like you to come onto your backs. And if you would like, you've done an awful lot of work for your neck and shoulders, you can take a little blanket, put it at the top of your mat. Get my blocks out of the way, and I'm just gonna move my screen. So come onto your back. And if at this point you've had enough, you can option just to go into Shavasana. You know, some people, maybe that's enough for them today. For the rest of us, we're gonna do a little bit more. So you're gonna come onto your back with your knees bent and just take a moment to notice how you feel. Palms turn up. All that warmth you've created in your body. Just let it in. And then from there, you're just gonna take your right ankle and you're gonna cross it on top of your left thigh. And then I want you just to rock that side to side, okay? Just a gentle rocking motion. So we start to get into the right hip a little bit. You could also take your right hand to the top of your right knee and press it away from you if you want a deeper stretch. Good. And then there's also an option here to go ahead and lift the left leg off the floor and interlace either behind the thigh or top of the shin. And even in this one, I'm still rocking it a little bit. Try to relax the face as you're doing this. Good. Then go ahead, if your foot's off the floor, go ahead and let it come back to the floor. And you're gonna open your arms out to the side. You're gonna leave this figure four exactly like it is, but you're gonna press down on the bottom foot, lift your hips slightly, move them to the right. And then you're gonna let the whole position twist to the left. Now, if this is too intense, take the top heel off and just stack your knees. And you can look up or you can look away, but I want you to melt your shoulders down to the mat. Melt the shoulders away from the ears. You could also take your left hand and press it into the top thigh a little bit. Play around with that. When I do that, when I press it away, I feel a little bit more stretch in the outer hip, which I like. And then breathe. So it's almost like you're still in the figure four, but you've twisted it, you've rotated it. And this is very similar to what we call fire log pose when we're seated, which is a very difficult pose to do if you have tightness in your hips. But the supine version may be a little bit easier. A couple more breaths. Good. And then let your left hand drop to the floor. Bring your legs back up. Unhook the right leg and then move your pelvis back to the center of your mat. And just let your knees move side to side. Not all the way to the full windshield wiper, just a little bit of motion here. You're gonna keep the feet hip width distance, and then you're gonna hook the left ankle over the right thigh. Okay, so we start here. And a little bit of rocking motion is okay here. Option to press the knee away from you. You do want to keep this foot flexed, the top foot flexed,
because that keeps everything engaged around the knee, and that's important, especially if you're going to go and lift that right foot up off the floor. Breathing nice and full. Taking our time with each pose and with getting in and out of the pose is so important. Choosing to leave the outer world for the inner and really getting familiar with how we feel inside. So we have that body awareness. We know when to stop or when to push a little bit more. So if you're really in the moment in these poses, you're not going to get injured because you're going to be feeling it. You're going to be in the right brain, the feeling brain, instead of the left brain, the thinking brain. Good. Please bring your right foot back down. Open your arms to the side. First step, lift the hips up, shift them to the left a little bit. And then let your whole position twist to the right. Ah. It's harder for me on this side, so I may just start with knees together until my back opens up a little bit. When you get into the deep joints, the connective tissue, you need to take your time. So I'm going to give it a few breaths. And I can feel it. I can feel it starting to open up. So then I'm going to go back to the figure four. And remember, you can take your right hand and support the left knee a little bit there. Breathing. See if you can identify areas of holding in the muscles, in the joints, and invite them to release with your next exhale. Good. And then here we go. We're going to bring the knees back to the center. Bring the pelvis back to the center and just gently windshield wiper the knees back and forth a couple of times. Letting everything go. Letting everything go. Good. And then from here, just go ahead and stretch one leg out. Stretch the other leg out. Point and flex the feet a couple of times, couple of little circles of the ankles. Stretch the arms alongside the ears, pull the belly in. Take a real full inhale, and then as you exhale, bring your arms back alongside your body. Relax your limbs and close your eyes, moving into Shavasana, final relaxation pose. So the arms and the legs flow out from the center of the body. The spine is relaxed. The brain is relaxed. The palms turn upward. And giving yourself permission to rest deeply. Just being and breathing here in this moment on your mat.
Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Gently start to move the fingers and the toes, circling the wrists and ankles. And then reaching through the arms and the legs, take a nice stretch like a morning yawn, inhaling fully and exhaling loudly out the mouth. Bend your knees, roll to the side. When you're ready, please come to a comfortable seat. And let's bring our hands together in front of our heart and close our practice with a single chant of Om. Relax and fill the lungs. Thank you so much for joining me. Wish you peace and radiant health. Namaste. Thank you for coming. Take care.